Guys, I've got some breaking news. There is a Qualcomm 7 Gen 1. Yes, a Qualcomm 7 Gen 1 with the Adreno 662 on a Chinese budget handheld for under $50. This can't be real. Am I dreaming? And of course, I'm going to call shenanigans because after I don't know what we've seen lately. I mean, I've got a handheld coming from Lenovo that I'm going to review on the channel here. I don't believe anything. We all remember a few years ago how Magic X took a lot of heat because the silk screen was modified on their CPU. So we're going to find out today if the X95 Pro, is it really a Snapdragon? Could it be? Or is it more shenanigans? I mean, it does say on the manual that it has that. We've even found some evidence online of it. And I'm even going to ask AI to verify the picture after I open it up and tell me, is that a real chip or not? Remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. But let's dive into this newest clone and find out what's going on here. Is it any good? Is it trash? Is it even worse than trash because it's deceptive? Let's find out.
If this is about a Chinese handheld, get in line.
All right, so we'll take a look at the box here, and wow, this is quite the box here, and it is very colorful. It was kind of beat up when it got to me, but it does say Consola do Gier, and I did ask AI what language that's in, and that is Polish. So it's got Polish writing on the front. That's pretty interesting. Poland, the land of the Witcher developers. So it does say that it has a large battery, 15,000 games, 64-bit graphics, and a 3.5-inch IPS screen. Got a nice picture of it on here on the front of it, which is showing it off. Very colorful box. Again, this box is kind of beat up. Looking around the side, and it does come in several colors. Now, I did ask for purple, but they sent me the black, but oh well. But it does come in black, white, gray, and purple. We got the 64 gig version here. On the bottom, it does let us know it's made in China, even though it has this Polish on it. And then on the back, again, we got more Polish. So I don't know if this is like intended for Poland or what, or Europe, but we do have some specifications here. Again, 640 by 480, blah, 3.5-inch, blah, 15,000 games, 64-bit. Interesting, there's no mention of that Snapdragon on the box. I wonder why. Step into the world of retro gaming with the X95 Pro, calling itself a Pro. Let's get this box open and look inside and see what we have here. And oh, well, we at least do have a bag, so that's not bad. Taking the box out of the way here, we have a nice carrying case, a bag. Not very branded, nothing on it, pretty plain, but let's see what's inside of it. Let's get it open here. And it seems to be a very basic bag, nothing fancy there. I guess that's okay. At least it has a bag, you know. And right on top we have X95 Pro. So we do have the manual here. So interesting, this is in Mandarin or Chinese, so not Polish. Open this up. So it is Mandarin on one side. Go to the other side and we have English. So the package had Polish, but we don't have that on the manual here, interestingly enough. So let's start looking at this. The X95 Pro, button description, headphone jack, blah, blah, blah. What I want to know is, oh, looky there. Look at what I found. The Qualcomm 7 Gen 1 with the Adreno 662, which is not a combination that I think is even a combination. Snapdragon 662. What is in this thing? We don't know. But I guarantee you it is not a Snapdragon. Battery 3,500 milliamp hour, IPS 3.5-inch, 640 by 480, Android 9. Kind of old. Android 9? That's kind of really old. Remember when the RP Mini had Android 10 on it? 9? Whatever. Let's get the handheld out of the way. Not much else in here. We do have a USB A to C cord. That's it. That's it. That's not much. Let's take the handheld out of here. Get this out of the way. Again, at least we got a carrying case and a basic manual. Taking a look here, and first impressions, this thing is it's not bad for a $50 handheld. Nice ergonomics. It's got a nice curve here, so I do like that with some texture here. That's pretty nice to hold on to it. Got a nice design back here. Feels okay to hold in the hands. I got to say, holding first impressions, I can already tell some things as we test the buttons I may not like. It is small form factor. The ergonomics are good, but that takes away from the pocketability just a little bit. But yeah, it's overall pretty decent size, but it's got a long uphill battle to beat something like the Anbernic RG35XXH, which is the king of this form factor for most people, anyways. But yeah, but let's get started testing on these buttons and see what the button testing's like. Hey guys, sorry after the video, but I wanted to share this with you. I used to think that 3D printed grips were the best, and I still like a lot of them, but my God, lately I've gone crazy with these TPU grips that Aliexpress has provided me. I wanted to share with you guys because if you hit the link in the code below, you can get a bunch of these yourselves. I've got these for all of my handhelds, and they make them have better grips, like my Pocket S Mini here, which now has an even better ergonomics with the grip on the back. They go on easily. We've even got one here for the 477V here if you like it vertical. We want to thank AliExpress for being a partner with us and always sharing with us these wonderful items and codes so you guys can participate as well. I'm going to try a few of these on as I show here, a bunch of different handhelds, but these are really nice, high quality at a really good, decent price. They go on pretty easy. Look how clear that is. Just look how nice that is. And you can just easily pop the handheld into it like a glove right there. And now look, my 477V just has a nice coating of protected on it. It feels better. It's gripped. I've got one here for the Mangmi that I'm looking forward to. And we even got one for the Pocket Air Mini. Again, hit the link down there below if you want to grab some of these. We want to thank AliExpress again. Also, check out our new link for JP fans where you can order stuff directly from Japan. Back to the show. All right, so as always, we'll test out the buttons here and let's see what the buttons are like. They're nice and big, which is kind of surprising. They do have independence and a nice travel distance to them. They're not too loud. They're actually pretty dampened and they feel pretty good. Actually, I got to say the buttons aren't too bad at all. I'm actually a little surprised here with the buttons, but they do feel good. They do have the markings on them, and they have a good separation and distance to them. Moving over to the D-pad, and this D-pad is somewhat interesting. It's a very interesting looking D-pad. You can see here, it does have a lot of stiffness to it. It doesn't want to pivot very well at all. It's not loud. It just feels really tight and stiff. It doesn't want to rotate very well, but it has a nice texture to it, and I do like the design of it. And it is raised and it's concave in the middle, but it does push straight down. So this is just not a really great D-pad. But moving on to the sticks, and this is where things get interesting because I actually think, even though these are switch style sticks, I like the feel of these. They do have a nice texture on here that you can see, and they've got a good rotation to them. And yes, they do click, which is surprising since the next thing we're going to look at is limited on this. And if this really is a Snapdragon, which, spoiler alert, we know it's not, why would you want to not have the next thing on it? But sticks are in the bottom configuration. They feel good. They got a good range to them, a nice texture. I like the sticks. They remind me of the sticks that are on the Powkiddy X35H. But then we come to the big problem. Why are so many of these handhelds coming with just L1 and R1? And we have the same thing here, and it's a big clunker. Look at that. It's nice to grab. I'll give it that. The ergonomics here are pretty good with the curve here and helping you hold this. I do like that. But again, it's only L1 and R1, which presents sort of a weird problem because, again, you're going to be limited in what you can play, limiting PS1 games that might need both, or N64 if this thing will even run it. But they're kind of tight and they're very loud, as you can see here. So not really great shoulder buttons. Moving through the rest of the buttons, we have these really flat buttons like this mode button here. And it's very clicky, very kind of loud and clicky. We have the start and we have the select on opposite sides. And again, those are also quite loud, quite clicky. You can hear them there. We have this nice little RGB design. Kind of like it. I think it looks nice. On the side here, we do have our power button, and then we have our reset button here, the R. And on the other side, we do have our volume rocker up and down. These are also clicky and kind of loud overall. The bottom has your SD card port. We do have a headphone jack and a single USB-C port on the bottom there. So pretty basic. The back has a nice design. This reminds me of some designs I've seen maybe on the R43H, 42H, Pro Mac, whatever, so many names. And then we do have a couple of designs here for gripping on the back. It is overall a somewhat okay filling in some parts and very cheap filling in other parts. And it's only a 3.5-inch screen. So again, we're at the 640 by 480 3.5-inch screen that is just tired and we've seen over and over again. But let's get this thing booted up and let's find out what it can do. And then we're going to open it up and verify the CPU. We'll be right back. All right, so let's boot into this thing and discover what we got here. I am very optimistic. Oh, we got a nice little light here and a light show. Let's see. X95 Pro. This is Android 9 again is what they told us. So let's see what it's going to do here as it boots in. Not really your typical Android boot in, so I'm kind of already suspicious. Oh, what is that? What is happening? And there's the Android is starting. What was that? Okay, I don't know. Some kind of opening. So not the quickest. Oh, and I'm almost certain that even though this is Android, this is not a touchscreen. But let's, yeah, no touchscreen. And this is interesting because we have online game, we have local game, we have YouTube, settings, and video. And it's not a touchscreen. So let's go to settings because I have a feeling this is not Android settings. Let's find out here. Oh, no. This looks like what we saw in the excuse me, Game MTEX 3. So I think we're seeing something similar here. Network storage, about, screen brightness, controller lights. Yep, that's about it. Not much there. Can change our language. It's got YouTube on it. Online game. What do you want to bet that's that same J Ultra E3 thing we've been seeing? Let's find out. Oh. What do we know there? Yep, it's the same thing that we've been seeing, which in theory is pretty interesting and cool, but in reality doesn't work very well. I mean, it works, as you can see here, bringing it up, but I didn't have the best experience with this before on other systems. So let's just see here, because honestly, you can't really communicate. I mean, you can kind of communicate with the people you're playing with, but it's really just, I don't know. Somebody's picking their player there. So I guess I'm online playing against someone, but let's see if it moves. It could be the computer. I don't know. Yeah, they're playing me. Let's see. You ready, buddy? Come on, bring it. Can I even do a Hadoken? Man, this D-pad it is not good. Yeah, the D-pad is not. Oh, and there's that silly thing where I can taunt, even though I'm taunting in language that I don't really understand. So yeah, so this is even though I won the match, I don't know if that's AI or a real person, but let's back out of this. Let's because I don't this is not something great. Let's see what we have here for local game. But okay, so we have like an overlay here. Can we do anything with it? Nope. Nope. Can't do anything with the overlay. So yeah. So this thing is not going to be a Snapdragon. There's no way that this is a Snapdragon. And if it's somehow a Snapdragon that is that is limiting what it can do, why would it do that? Because a real Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 or Gen 1 even, it should be doing a lot more than this. It should be easily playing um, better than this. Screen looks okay. It's a 640 by 480 as I play some Genesis here. And again, we don't have any control over RetroArch. We can't do anything. I don't know if we can get into this through ADB, maybe using a mouse like on the E3 to do something with this, but I'm even going to go to far as to say is that I believe this is probably the same CPU that's in the Vigor, the E3 Vigor, which is a MediaTek. So let's get this thing taken apart, take a look at it, verify what it says inside, and then we'll wrap this video up. All right, so let's get into this and find out what's inside of here. I gotta say, I'm not too optimistic because of previous issues. As I mentioned earlier, we do have the Magic X scandal that happened way back when, and we do know that some of these companies have been willing to put fake lithograph on the CPUs. In other words, to mark them as a CPU that it's not really. So I'm interested to find out if we're going to see something like that in here as I get closer here. And as we look inside this, we're going to be, I think, not surprised as you're watching this sped up footage. And yes, oh my. Oh, it says it's a Qualcomm. Do I believe it? No, I don't. Let's discuss this further, guys, because I don't think this is authentic. So, although they're selling a product that has a CPU that is stamped with a Qualcomm logo, and although the AI looking at this image told me that it matched known quantities of it, we know that this is not a Qualcomm thanks to our community. I'm going to link down in the bottom where you can check out a community post from an awesome Death Thrasher who has beaten this thing and got inside and actually customized it, got around the restrictions, and we now know that this is a MediaTek 6572. So that's right. This company is selling a fraudulent product. And why are they doing this? And how much longer is this going to occur? Is Qualcomm going to do anything about this? Now, we're just a little channel here that, verifies and plays with e-waste that most other people would just not even look into. But I think it's important to point out when fraud happens. And in this case, this company, whoever it is, because it's not very clear, the outside of the box has Polish language, it's made in China, doesn't have a real trademark on it, and it's using a CPU that's been fraudulently marked, probably doesn't think there's going to be much in the way of trouble for them. But I want you guys to know if you get this and you are savvy enough to find out why is it on Android 9 if it's a Snapdragon, a modern Snapdragon, and why does it play so crappy? You now know because it's not a Snapdragon. So even though their manual says it is, it's wrong, it's fraudulent, it's just not right. That's what we do here at Retro Game with Dead Fred. We give you the facts. And again, thanks to Death Metal Thrasher for going in there and overcoming that. And if you end up with one of these, perhaps he'll write a guide or share with us how he did this. Remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones because tomorrow is never promised. But again, don't buy this trash. This is true e-waste with a fake CPU, not worthy of your money. We'll see you next time, Deadheads. Dead Fred out.